If you've been sleeping on Shedeur Sanders, now might be the last chance to hit snooze. Because on day 3 of Brown's training camp, Shedeur didn't just show up, he arrived. After days of quietly preparing behind the scenes, earning whispers of promise and respect from teammates, the rookie finally got a shot with a second-team offense. And he made every snap count. From the first rep, it was clear something had shifted. No nerves, no hesitation, just a poised, precise, and prepared quarterback walking into the huddle. If you're into the real story and all the messy twists they don't show on highlight reels, go ahead and subscribe. And if you're sticking around to see how this Browns QB chaos plays out, you should definitely be subscribed, like it was already his. Shedeur had waited patiently, worked methodically, and blocked out the noise. This wasn't just a strong practice. This was a statement. And he made it without saying a word. Let's rewind a bit. Heading into camp, Shedeur Sanders was listed as the 4th quarterback on the Browns' depth chart. A 5th-round pick buried behind names with bigger contracts, higher draft status, and more professional reps, veterans like Joe Flacco, young hopefuls like Kenny Pickett, and, of course, the rookie everyone was told to watch, Dillon Gabriel. Taken earlier in the draft, handed the narrative before a ball was even snapped. Shedeur, he was a question mark, the unknown, the wild card, the one media voices whispered about cautiously, often mentioning his surname, Sanders, before his stats or his actual play. It was as if his presence was tolerated, not anticipated. He wasn't part of the plan, until he made himself unavoidable. From the jump, Sanders didn't approach camp like someone playing catch-up. He prepared like someone planning a takeover. First team reps or not, he was in every meeting, studying every play, mentally repping every route. Coaches noticed. Teammates noticed. Even as Gabriel stumbled through reads and Flacco settled into a backup rhythm, Sanders just kept preparing. Quietly, methodically, intentionally. And then came day 3. The coaching staff, for reasons still wrapped in vague evaluation language, finally gave Sanders some meaningful reps with the second-team offense. Not mop-up duty, not walkthroughs, real snaps, real timing, real opportunity. He didn't waste a second. The first throw, a tight window completion over the middle, hitting his receiver in stride between 2 linebackers. The second, a perfectly timed sideline out route, placed just high enough to protect his receiver, but low enough to keep the drive alive. The third, a deep ball, 45 yards downfield, perfectly placed, drawing a collective O from the sideline. It wasn't flashy. It was clinical. And in those moments, the tide turned. Suddenly, those whispers turned into conversation. People started leaning forward. Beat reporters started scribbling notes. Veterans who had been treating the reps like routine started paying attention. And Sanders? He just kept delivering. Poise in the pocket. Confidence in the cadence. No wasted motion, no forced throws, no panic under pressure. It was a kind of performance you rarely see from a rookie. Not because they lack the talent, but because they rarely get the chance. And when Shedeur got his, he didn't just match expectations. He broke them. But what makes this breakout even more impressive is what came before it. The long days of silence, the patience, the restraint, the maturity to stay sharp without the spotlight. While others got headlines for mistakes or viral training camp clips, Sanders just worked. He didn't demand reps. He earned them. And when the off-field distractions came, namely 2 speeding tickets the media pounced on, he didn't deflect. He owned them, apologized, took responsibility. That should have been the end of it. But of course it wasn't. Headlines turned it into a character flaw, a referendum on his maturity, as if a couple of traffic violations somehow negated years of discipline, leadership, and community service. Never mind that Shedeur had already made quiet, impactful contributions in Cleveland, supporting fire victims, engaging in youth events, mentoring fellow rookies. That didn't make the narrative. It rarely does. What sticks is the clickbait. And yet, through all of it, he stayed focused. Because that's who he is. That's who Dion raised. A quarterback who leads with action, not excuses. And now, the Browns have a decision to make. Because day 3 didn't just reveal that Shedeur could hang with the twos. It showed that he might be better than anyone else in that room. It's no longer about development or future potential. It's about what's happening right now. And if Shedeur Sanders is giving you the best quarterback play in practice, how much longer can you justify keeping him off the field? That's the question fans are already asking. And if the team isn't careful, that question turns into frustration, then pressure, then problems. Because nothing divides a locker room faster than obvious talent being ignored. And the team feels it. Coaches can downplay it. Reporters can sugarcoat it. But players know who's balling and who's not. They know who they trust under center. And Shedeur, after just 3 days, is quietly becoming that guy. Even more, he's doing it the right way. No ego, no politics, just execution. Ask the receivers, he's communicating clearly, adjusting routes, giving guys confidence. Ask the linemen, he's praising blocks, stepping up cleanly in the pocket, showing awareness. Ask the defense. They'll tell you, off the record, that they're having to step it up when he's under center. That's impact. That's presence. That's a quarterback who's ready. But as a team, that's the elephant in the room. Because while Shedeur continues to rise, the Browns coaching staff, especially head coach Kevin Stefanski, has remained frustratingly quiet. No clear acknowledgement of his performance. No indication of an expanded role. Just vague praise and talk of sticking to the process. But at some point, the process has to reflect the product. And right now, the product says this. Shedeur Sanders is outplaying the guys ahead of him. He's doing more with fewer reps. He's staying sharp despite external distractions. He's galvanizing a locker room without even being the starter. And most of all, he's proving that he doesn't just belong in the NFL. He might be exactly what Cleveland needs. So what now? Give him more. More reps, more responsibility, more visibility. Not as a gift, as a response. You don't reward hype, you reward production. And if day 3 is any indication, Shedeur is just getting started. He's still QB3 on paper, maybe QB4, depending on how stubborn the org wants to be. But to anyone watching, really watching, it's clear. He's QB1 in momentum, QB1 in preparation, QB1 in the hearts of fans who've seen too many wasted opportunities at the position. No one's asking for him to start next Sunday, but the time for caution is over. The time for let's wait and see has passed. He's showing you he's ready. Now show him that you're paying attention, because talent doesn't wait forever, and neither do opportunities. Either you act on them, or someone else will. For now, day 3 was Shedeur Sanders' breakout, but if the Browns let it, it could be something more. The start of something real. The start of a shift. The beginning of a future that nobody predicted, but everyone can see coming. He's not knocking on the door anymore. He's standing in the hallway, helmet in hand, waiting for it to open. The only question now is, who's brave enough to turn the knob? Because the longer the Browns hesitate, the more the moment builds. And Shedeur Sanders isn't just waiting, he's working while he waits. That's the difference between guys who show flashes and the ones who last. Some rookies come in hot, then plateau. They burn out on attention, get rattled by the speed of the game, lose their edge when they realize it's not college anymore. Shedeur's different. He didn't walk into camp like a college superstar. He walked in like a backup accountant in a championship company. Clipboard ready, head down, learning everything, not entitled ready. Day 3 was just the beginning of what he's already building behind the scenes. You won't see it in stat sheets, but ask the guy snapping on the ball. Ask the defensive back watching film of his reps. They'll tell you he's gaining traction. It's in how he talks in the huddle, concise, confident, calm. It's in how he corrects a wide out without blaming. How he checks a play call twice, but never looks confused. It's in the way the offense breathes a little easier when he's out there. Even though he's not supposed to be leading yet, he's leading anyway. And that's what Cleveland has to reckon with. Because there's a major difference between a quarterback who executes and a quarterback who elevates. And Shedeur, even in limited reps, is elevating. His receivers are sharper. The energy is up. The sideline